Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be going over the main card for UFC 254, which features Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje. So yeah, I wasn't able to do a promo video for this pay-per-view. Work got busy, life got hectic, and just wasn't able to get around to it. But as always, here are the pick videos. So to get us started, we have a light heavyweight rematch between Ion Cutelaba versus Magomed Ankalaev. For the love of God, will it please just happen this time? This fight has been rescheduled 3-4 times maybe. I think both of these guys got COVID. It's not really their fault, and you know, they've been trying to get this fight scheduled for a long time. If it doesn't happen this time, it's safe to say it's going to be a cursed fight that just won't ever happen. And these two have fought before, and it ended to a very controversial early stoppage. The ref, I guess, wasn't familiar with Cutelaba's fighting style, because he does this thing where he pretends to be hurt but then comes back with a really heavy shot, a really powerful shot. And I guess the ref hadn't seen his previous fights, which, I mean, that's not his job to watch his previous fights. But so Cutelaba tried to play possum and try to pretend that he was hurt, and the ref ended up calling the fight early when Cutelaba was actually fine. I mean, he was instantly responsive. He was yelling at the ref, upset with the ref, but it's just one of those things where, you know, maybe you played it off too well. Ankalaev did seem like a formidable opponent for Cutelaba. So Cutelaba has good power shots, doesn't hesitate to throw, and has good takedown defense. Ankalaev to me seems like the more efficient striker. He may have a problem managing distance, but he seems like whenever he throws combos, he throws them effectively. Each one of his punches means something. I feel like Cutelaba is going to be coming out there more aggressively, may leave himself a little bit more open. You know, he's trying to make up for that TKO loss that he suffered last time. That being said, my pick for this one is going to be going to Ankalaev with a second round KO. So next we have a flyweight women's bout between Lauren Murphy versus Lilia Shakarova. And to be honest, I don't have much information about either one of these fighters. So I know Lauren Murphy has won a few fights due to decision, and she has a KO win that she got last year. As far as Lilia, I haven't seen much from her. I believe this is her UFC debut. What I have seen from the film that was available to me, I saw that she's a fast starter. She's not afraid to throw. In that case, I'm going to have to give it to her. I feel like she gets into her zone quicker. I feel like she's going to be more aggressive, and she's going to be able to finish the fight sooner. She's not looking to go to a decision, but she can if she has to. Alright, so next we have a middleweight fight between Phil Hawes versus Jacob Malkoun. And this is going to be Jacob Malkoun's UFC debut, as well as Phil Hawes' UFC debut from the Contender Series, moving on up to the main card. And both these guys are coming off win streaks, so one of these streaks is going to have to end come Saturday night. And I will say this, that Phil Hawes has one of the most deadliest right hands that I've ever seen, and this guy throws it with no remorse. He's vicious with it. He's not afraid to go in for the kill. He doesn't hold back. On the other hand, Malkoun definitely has versatile striking. He's not afraid to take a shot, to get close, to land a few. And Malkoun seems like his defense is a little choppy, a little sloppy, but like I said, he's not afraid to take a shot, to land a few of his own. So that being said, I'm going to have to give this one to Phil Hawes. I believe that that one shot that Malkoun is going to have to take is going to be one that's going to do some damage from Phil Hawes, and I believe he's going to be able to capitalize on that. Alright, so next we have Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris fighting at heavyweight. Both of these guys are coming off a loss. Alexander Volkov losing to Curtis Blades, and Walt Harris lost to Alistair Overeem. So we know Volkov can go the distance. He was shown that he can go the distance in previous fights. He lasted the whole fight with Curtis Blades to lose in the decision. And we all saw the loss that he got from Derek Lewis. It really was him in control the entire way until the last second, where Derek Lewis landed that one crazy shot that put him out. And on the other hand, we have Walt Harris, and it seemed like he had a tough time getting it started against Overeem. But then again, it's Alistair Overeem, who's not going to have a tough time getting it started. And he was dealing with a lot of things going on mentally, with the tragedy going on with his daughter and coming back to the cage. A lot was going on. He had a lot on his mind. I'm expecting to see him more focused, more tuned in this fight. You know, going into that Overeem fight, I feel like he knew that he wasn't going to be able to land that one big shot that could change the fight. And when usually he's a very aggressive fighter, he's a very fast starter, he's not afraid, he doesn't hesitate that much. And so coming into this fight against a less aggressive opponent, I believe he's going to be able to find that shot a lot faster and be able to land it more successfully and have a lot more confidence going on from there. I don't believe it's going to end as fast. I believe we could see a possible second round knockout from Walt Harris. Next we have the middleweight fight between Robert Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier. And so Jared Cannonier is a very interesting fighter because he actually started at heavyweight, went down to light heavyweight, and then went down again to middleweight. So he is a very versatile fighter. And so a big thing that happens whenever people drop down in weight classes like that is the speculation that comes with it of he's not going to have as much power, he's going to get tired faster, and he's not going to be as effective. But he's been undefeated since his transition down to middleweight. On the other hand, we have Robert Whitaker. This guy's coming off a win versus Darren Till, which is a very 3-round war. Had a lot of hype behind that fight. It was a very exciting technical fight to watch. Before that, he lost to Israel Adesanya after being gone for a little bit. And some good news for Jared Cannonier. He knows what this fight means for him. So after Israel Adesanya beat Paulo Costa, he instantly said the next person he wants to fight is Jared Cannonier. So with that in mind, both of these guys know whoever wins this fight is going to move on to get that title shot with Israel Adesanya. And although Whitaker may have the advantage to try to take Cannonier down, I don't think that we're going to get that in this fight at all. And I believe these two fighters are going to give us all what we're wanting to see, and that's going to be an absolute slugfest between these two. So I'm deeming this one a win for Jared Cannonier with a late first round knockout as well as fight of the night. And you're not going to want to walk away from this one. This is going to be the one that you're going to want to stay tuned in and make sure you see every single second of it. So last but not least, main event time. So this one's going to have Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje. And as we all know, Khabib Nurmagomedov is undefeated. He is 28-0, looking to make it 29, and Justin Gaethje has 22 wins and 2 losses, and he's looking to try to take that title from Khabib, who seems at this point almost invincible. And so the reason I like to wait to do these videos is because I like to watch the weigh-ins, and Justin Gaethje seemed like he was pretty fresh at the weigh-ins. He seemed like he was pretty focused, seemed like the weight cut went very well. On the other side of that, Khabib seemed like he was definitely struggling and definitely relieved whenever he saw that the scale hit 155. So we all know Khabib's game plan. Take him down, ground and pound, put him into a submission if it comes up. If not, just control the whole fight and end up taking it to the decision. Gaethje, on the other hand, comes from a wrestling background, doesn't really use it as much, prefers to stand up and trade, but can stuff a takedown if need be. Justin Gaethje's coming off that impressive, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, surprising win versus Tony Ferguson. I mean, he came into that fight late. He went in there with nothing to lose and everything to gain, and he left with everything to gain. Stepped up, took on El Cucuy and beat him, ended his 12-fight win streak, and that was enough to give him a title shot, and deservingly so. When you do something like that, you're going to make some noise, you're going to get some attention, and you're going to get some respect as well. The scary thing about Khabib is that I believe we haven't even seen peak Khabib yet. I don't think that Nurmagomedov has reached the pinnacle of his entire existence. His striking continues to improve as his fights continue on, and this was put on more so in the Conor fight. I mean, maybe it came from out of nowhere, but he did make an impressive statement whenever he was able to drop Conor McGregor. So what makes these two fights interesting is that Khabib is very open about his game plan, as well as Justin Gaethje. Khabib is very, I'm going to take you down, grind you out. He said that he was going to take Justin Gaethje to the deepest ocean and drown him, which is terrifying. And on the flip side of that is Justin Gaethje is very, very adamant about knocking people out. He's very open and honest with his game plan. He wants to go out there and he wants to be an entertaining fighter. He doesn't care if he takes damage. He doesn't care if he gets knocked out. He wants to make a fight exciting. I believe for Justin Gaethje to win this fight, he's going to have to be efficient. He's going to have to be aggressive, and he's going to have some tricks up his sleeve. He's going to have to catch Khabib off guard in surprising ways and surprising angles to manage his gas tank and be aggressive, which is going to be very, very challenging for him to do. On the other side, Khabib, he is going to try to wear Justin Gaethje down, as he always does with all his opponents. And it's not a matter of how he's going to do it, it's a matter of when he's going to do it. And I'm talking about the takedowns. Whenever he lands those takedowns, they take a lot of energy out of fighters, and whenever they get back up, that fighter is not the same fighter as he was at the beginning of the round. He is going to be tired. The exhaustion from the pressure and the pace that he's putting on his opponents while they're on the ground is tremendous, and it definitely takes an effect on them. But I believe there are some points of Khabib's game plan that Justin Gaethje can actually exploit if he is smart enough to recognize them mid-fight. But there are some parts in the Conor fight that I saw that could have been a little different. And I'm not talking about the third round where everybody said if Conor could just do what he did in the third round in the first round of the rematch, then Conor has a chance to win that fight. Well, yeah, maybe. Who knows? But there was a part of that first round where Conor was in a situation where he could have maybe changed the pace of at least the first round. I don't know if it would have changed the entire fight, but at least the first round. And I'll get a breakdown into that here soon. So overall, my pick for this one is going to go to Khabib Nurmagomedov. I believe that he's going to be able to wear Justin Gaethje down. Justin Gaethje is going to start making some mistakes, if not trying to manage his gas tank as well as being the aggressor, and Khabib's going to take advantage of that. He's going to see openings in his game to land those takedowns, and eventually those takedowns are going to wear him down. And so I believe Khabib's going to get the third round submission, late in the third round submission win, and remain lightweight champion. Alright guys, so that wraps up my picks for UFC 254. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you think is going to win. Let me know who you think is going to have the fight of the night. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching these videos, whether you have them playing in the background while you're doing something for work, cleaning around the house, and for sharing them, commenting on them, liking them, anything like that. Definitely appreciated. As always, this is my gamer tag for Xbox Live if you want to game and hang out, and this is my Twitter if you want to see me live tweet during the fights, my thoughts and opinions of what's going on during the main card. Other than that, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Going into this one, we all know the emotional struggle that Khabib's going to be going through with the loss of his father and not being able to have him around in his corner, especially since this fight is going to be happening where his father would have been able to be in his corner and be at his side during this fight, like it was whenever he fought Dustin Poirier. But unfortunately, he has passed due to COVID-19. Respect to Khabib, his family, his team. We know that the emotional struggle that he must be going through must be tremendous, and nothing but respect for him and the legacy that his father's left behind for him to carry.